Hello. Okay, so what we're going to do today, we're going to look at the muscle up, okay? The movement that's getting you from below the rings to above the rings, okay? We're going to do some simple drills to kind of make that a lot easier and make it a bit easier for us to do, okay?
Yeah.
So, what we're going to look at first, okay? The most important thing here is what kind of grip we're going to use, okay? So I've actually set up the rings a bit too low. We're going to look at use these ones, okay? First thing I want to do, I want to imagine with the rings facing me, I'm going to karate chop the rings, okay? So I can show a bit more with my hands. I'm going to karate chop the rings, okay? I'm going to place this kind of part of my hand on the rings, okay? Then what I'm going to do, I'm going to just wrap my hands round, resting this part on the rings, and same on the other side here, okay? So my fingertips are facing me, and my knuckles are facing each other with this part on the rings, okay? Then I'm going to do the worst squat in the world, okay? We don't want to see this in any kind of workout. I'm going to bring my knees forwards, okay? And I'm going to let my body come back, so that I'm still in this position with my hands, but that I'm forced back with my body, okay? And what I'm looking for first is an explosive pull, bringing these rings and me to closer to the rings, okay? So I'm going to pull, okay? And then I pull a bit too much there, a bit too explosive, and I want to come straight back, okay? Pull, come straight back, I pull, and I come straight back.
Should I try it?
Yeah, of course. So that's what it is. You just
karate chop
the rings. Have this part resting.
Feet are probably just below the rings, or
just below the rings.
And then I go forward and I lean back. Like
exactly.
this.
Yeah, almost doing a sissy squat.
Should I start with the completely straight arms?
You want to start with the slight bend in your arms.
Bend, yeah.
Slight bend.
Okay.
And then from there you want to come up. That's it. And then pull.
Okay.
And try and have your knuckles touching each other.
Ah, okay. So very close.
Really close, yeah.
So what about my elbows are doing?
The elbows are fine, we're just keeping them really close
as well, yeah?
Yeah. Again, the closer they can be, the easier it will become.
Okay. Perfect. So how many reps would you suggest?
What I would suggest doing now, I would suggest getting really comfortable with the grip, okay? So that we can maintain that position, and then just about do 10 reps to make sure you're comfortable with pulling from that position. Again, because it can be quite awkward on the forearm.
Yes.
So
I can feel definitely pulling here. Through here, yeah.
Through there. So, when we've mastered that, okay, when we're really comfortable with pulling from there, we're going to get into the same position, okay, so like we did before. Karate chop the rings, bring our hands round, fingertips facing us. We're going to come back to this position. Now, the only thing we're going to do is, if we can, pull faster, and we're going to fall through, and then land with our feet flat on the floor, okay? So I'll give you a demo. Okay, then I come out of it, come back. Yeah.
So your shoulders are quite low in comparison to your elbows, right? They get really, really dip down.
Really need the shoulders to dip down.
And also they are very close to the rings.
Yes.
So the elbows are not out, they're
very close. And in fact, if you can imagine that the rings, you're almost bringing them in to tuck them into your ribs. Okay.
So this requires a huge amount of flexibility in your shoulders, right?
Yes, a lot of flexibility.
Do you know any drill because people struggle to get that low, like you just did did the low.
Yeah, I mean there's a drill that you can do actually. Yeah. Let me just get a band to really improve that movement.
Yeah, that would be good. Because I find a lot of people, they can't get that deep, or if they do, their elbows going out because they just haven't got the flexibility.
The fact of the elbows coming out is just a lack of that kind of shoulder extension. Yeah. That really bringing it back. But I mean, you can solve that with a simple drill using the bands.
I'm gonna step on it because it's obviously not very strong.
So just as an example, so this can help for push-ups. This can help for ring dips, not just for muscle ups, and any kind of pressing archetype. Okay. So we're going to bring the band round our elbow. Okay. And I'm going to bring my hand behind my back. My shoulders down, my abs are squeezed, and my leading leg will be the one that has the band next to it, okay? And then from there, what I'm looking to do, I can even bring this hand to hold my hand behind me, so that it doesn't come away, and I let my elbow relax, and really get pulled back by the band. And then I can add in my neck, if I want to, just to get that deeper stretch, and I keep all this tight and move away from that band. You'll most likely feel it through here, through the lats just here and through these ribs. Okay.
Can I try that one?
Of course you can. Yeah.
It's interesting because I'm quite tight, especially in my right side. So
Try it.
arm here.
Arm behind, yeah,
And then
have that right leg of yours come out in front,
yeah.
and then just imagine you're kind of bringing yourself away from the band.
Like that.
Twist away to your left.
To my left.
Yeah, that's it. And you should.
Yeah, now I start to feel stretch.
Feel it.
Yeah, I feel it here, as you said, around ribs.
Yeah.
As well as shoulder.
Yeah. And that's really just to get better at that pressing movement.
Nice. Just to make sure that I'm not arching too much, right? I want to be.
Yeah, you want to be in that good position.
Yeah, the
just imagine you're dipping on the rings.
Yes.
So you keep your core tight and your butt squeezed, like if you were doing it on the.
Yeah, I feel that all around. That's good. Okay. So when we come back now, so I had that stretch.
You had that stretch, and now you're going to look to come at the bottom to see with your feet on the floor to see how far your elbows can come back. Okay. Now, surely it will feel a lot easier because you've just worked through that movement, okay? Now, from there what we're going to do, we're going to come into that position I explained at the beginning, okay? My fingertips facing me, and
knuckles together.
Knuckles together. I'm going to explosively pull, and then keep my elbows really close to my body and fall through.
Okay, let me try that one.
Okay, let's try that.
So, feet again under.
Yeah.
I go close, I get here. My body's straight, right?
Keep your hips a bit higher.
Higher,
so
yeah,
squeeze
there.
that. Now pull aggressively towards your chest, and then fall through. Pull through.
How is my elbows here now?
Your elbows are good, but imagine you're trying to tuck the rings into your pockets, so you're keeping
there.
That's the game changer.
Better?
That's a lot better, yes. Come down, explosive pull, and close. Better, good. The rings in a bit more. There we go. There. So now they're kind of tucked into that position, and they're a lot easier to move off, as you can see.
Okay, cool.
Okay. If we've mastered that, now we're just going to change the position of our feet. So the position of our feet, by changing it, will make it a lot harder. Now instead of having them here, we're going to bring them just in front. Okay. We're going to straighten them, and we're going to have them dangling in front. So I'm going to come down to this position. Okay. And I'm going to look to pull and then land in this position. Again, because my feet are further away and I can't push off them as much, it's going to be a bit trickier. Okay? Just try that.
So land them, so basically the only difference is bring it
bring your legs straight. Right,
and still go through?
Knuckles together, still go through, yes. So explosive pull and then go through.
Yeah, it's much harder.
It's a lot harder, as you can see.
And then still end up
in that position, yeah.
I'm almost struggling to actually keep my feet down. If I go in, you see, it elevates me. If I want to keep the rings in by my ribs, it kind of elevates me.
Yeah, it does, but that's the position you want to adopt. Yeah. So the elevation isn't a bad thing at all.
So here.
Yeah, hips a bit hard.
Hard, there.
That's it, good.
That's challenging. I can see that for most of beginners, this will be really challenging.
So that might be a bit more of a challenging way to do it, but if not, go back to the first one, and then that, of course, would be a lot easier. Okay? Now, anything that's going to look like the top of that dip position, again, is going to be a bit of a struggle because of the controls of the rings, and they want to always probably come out. Okay? But if not, if you're with a partner or with someone that can help you, if Camille demonstrates, I'm going to go to the top of that position, and you're just going to hold the rings in.
Okay.
Okay?
What I find also difficult is actually to hold this position with the palms out.
Yeah.
I always used to do this, and I always used to finish here, if not even here. So for me, this is very unnatural. Okay. I can do it now, but I really struggle. So for example, we'll get there.
That position, yeah.
But that is challenging.
That's challenging.
Is my shoulders okay there?
Your shoulders are fine. I mean, that's a good ring position. There's nothing wrong with that.
Okay, but I never used to do that. So now I just learned maybe last week to get to this position and stay there.
Yeah.
And it is hard from the first time. So how would you progress to
turning out?
Yes.
Well, I mean, the idea of, first of all, turning out with the rings, people would say, oh, why do you do it? Why is it necessary? If you can even do this yourself, if you just bring your thumbs together, okay, facing each other, and then you slowly start to turn your thumbs up, like giving a thumbs up. Suddenly something's happening on our shoulder blades. Suddenly our shoulder blades are getting into a better position, and it gets a lot stronger in our back. Okay? Yeah. So that's why we apply this on the rings.
But this one is even further. This one gets even from here to here.
That would be maybe a bit too much. We're looking roughly at, for example, in a push-up as well, we're looking for 1 o'clock and 11 o'clock.
Oh really? Okay, so just slightly.
Yeah,
it's not really going out.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to be there,
okay,
you would there.
So not maybe, yeah, okay, so maybe here.
So maybe between 1 or 2 and 11 and 10 roughly would be the degree. But if you actually want to get better at that drill, what you can do, you can also use the bands, okay?
Yeah.
Just bring. Actually, in fact, we'll use the lacrosse ball for this, might make it a bit easier. So what we're going to do, we're going to loosen off all this junction here that are called the external rotators that attach just into this point here, okay? That they're all responsible for any kind of rotation I do towards the outside of my body, okay? So if they're loose, we have more room to rotate towards the outside, okay? So what I'm going to look to do, I'm going to lie down onto my sides, onto my right sides. I'm going to place the lacrosse ball just at that point here, as you can see. And now I'm going to let my body gently apply pressure onto it. And what I want to do here, I want to, while the tissue's tacked down, I want to move my arm through a different range so it can get a bit of tension off of that kind of like junction. Okay? If that's not enough, you can put more weight onto it and keep moving through there. It also helps with the overhead position to get our arm closer to our ear. Okay? But if not, you can just start doing this. Bring your arm really close to the ground, really close to the ground the other way. Okay, if you want to try that, come in. So there'll be just a spot where all those muscles kind of connect.
And then get it about 90 degrees here, right?
Yeah, 90 degrees is fine.
I feel it already. That's.
And then just try.
Yeah.
Again, abs tight, butt squeeze, we're trying to adopt the same position that we use for all of our movements.
Yep. Yeah, I feel that, definitely, yeah.
And that's just...
And it's going through, obviously, different fibers as I'm moving.
Exactly, that's the idea of it. You're tacking down tissue and then you're just moving it through different ranges.
Different angle. Okay, yeah.
And then, that rotation might seem a bit easier. If you just try on the right arm, you rotate, and then the other arm you rotate. You can clearly see there's more rotation on the right arm than on the left.
Yeah, it is.
That palm is facing towards me, that palm is facing towards the door. So that's the idea you want to have for something like the ring dips.
Okay. So once we master these two, and we get to that position from the bottom, what would be our next progression? Would you bring the rings up and actually try to do the same pulling, but as a pull-up, for example?
Yeah, I mean, once you've mastered that, so for example, if you can show that you have clearly this movement, the one we were doing before, the one where you can pull.
Yeah, this one is definitely easier than the one with the straight legs, that's for sure.
Yeah, if you have that, then we can move you on to the one with the straight legs, and if not, we get used to that position I was going over with Camille. My feet are in front of my body, and my rings are turned out slightly. Okay? Then, if we have that, what we just look to do is just get you really comfortable for pulling from this position. Okay? I've never seen anyone make this position and not finish with the ring dip. I've never seen it. I've only seen people struggle with the grips and to pull through and try.
I find myself one of the best tricks for the muscle up. What I do, I literally basically imitate that move. So if I have to stay on that bone, okay, like at the bottom of the palm, if I have to stay there, because I'm not really stretched at the moment, I find it difficult to hold it there, plus I have no choke, but I find this one, literally imitate that move, and this stretch with the straight arm, so I really feel stretch here, so keep the fist in, quite loose, but still fingers in, not just like this.
No.
But as I'm here, and I literally wrap over,
Okay.
And I just hold it there for a while. Just getting through a different angle maybe, but holding it here, so really get that. And then the grip feels much easier in that position.
Yeah.
Once I get that. Because obviously